Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villian Report, and Red Zone Range. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla Hour, Broseph Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and MM Maniacs. The nightly shows are Palace Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle Podcast, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, Off the Rails, and Detroit Lions News. Hope you like all the shows. Make sure you follow, like, share.
Hey, my name is Ray Flores. I'm a proud and loyal member of the First and 10 Tailgate. You're listening to First and 10 with my man, the main man, Foz.
First and 10 with Foz, Chicago Bears in the mix. Rapping about football, no room for politics. From the Windy City, we bring the fire. This podcast hot, raising the bar higher. Touchdown after touchdown, we never settle for less. Breaking it down with Foz, we always bring our best. First and 10 with Foz, dance in the crowd, cheering loud and proud. Our spirits never bow. We rep that navy, blue and orange, no room for doubt. Chicago Bears legendary, no team can knock us out. No team can knock us out.
When I'm in Chicago, always a vibe.
For display. Hitting hard like a linebacker, making our way. Foz leading the charge, taking us to the top. Chicago Bears legacy, we can never stop.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another off-season edition episode of First and 10 with Foz. Tonight in the house, I got my guys, Guy, CeeJay, and Alan from CNG Podcast. If you guys don't know about CNG, you guys are missing a good, fun podcast. Bears, all sports, all fun, all the time. How we doing tonight, fellas?
What's going on, bro?
What's up?
Awesome, guys. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on, man. Guys, brought to you the show always real fast by Bedrocks.
Bedrocks Pizza, the place to be. Hard rock tunes and craft beers for thee. Crowd is roaring, the atmosphere's hot. We'll party hard, give it all we've got. This place is our sanctuary. Shout it aloud, let the music play. Bedrocks Pizza, we're here to stay. Good times and memories never before. Under the neon lights, we're all stars.
See, Guy, you got me producing tonight, bro. I got to get the sponsors out there. I got the song and shit going. I thought I was going to be a guest, and you were going to do all this fun stuff tonight, man. That's okay, though. I don't mind it, man. So what's going on, fellas? End of the Bears season. It's been a pretty exciting, again, off season. What are you guys thinking about everything happening with our Bears so far this year?
Go ahead, Alan, or whoever wants to get off.
Yeah, I would say the Bears season, I'm ready for it to get started, man. I'm ready to get to work and see the guys, put this thing together and see Ben Johnson he's put together a good staff, and he's also doing great things as far as getting his team aligned, like the team of coaches. That's what I like. Everything's been real strategic, working with Ryan and, it's extending Ryan and, kind of getting the nucleus put together. So now it's about putting in the work and seeing the results. I'm glad that we got the players away from the locker room and, now it's just getting the schemes together. You know, the senior day just passed. So yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm ready for the season to start tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's going to be a long off season. Unfortunately, we still got some time ahead of us, but always the longest gap of the year. Number one thing I like the most, he said, is get comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, he came into his press conference, he came into Hallis Hall, and he ain't trying to put no hit system, no A, B, C, D, E, F, G thing together. He's in there saying, like, get comfortable being uncomfortable. We're going to work your ass off, and we're going to switch some things up. So I really liked him coming in. CeeJay, what about your thoughts so far about everything that's been happening since the last game?
Yeah, I mean, the coaching staff is coming along pretty strong. You know, they had the offensive line, head coach a couple of days ago. You know, so a guy supposed to be pretty good. So hopefully, new coaching staff didn't get the players heading in the right direction. You know, that's all I want.
Yeah, the offensive coordinator from the Saints, who we just picked up, is known as one of the best coordinators around the entire league. Not to mention, we brought in the defensive coordinator who used to be the head coach of the Saints, who also we were talking about a little bit backstage, is hopefully going to fill that gap for Ben Johnson. Now, he's never really had that head coach experience, and then everyone was worried about Ben Johnson being such an offensive guy. What about the defense? Well, now you got a head coach who's a defensive-focused guy filling in that gap. So super optimistic about the coaching hiring so far. Guy, what do you think about the way they went about hiring everyone to begin with? You know, like they were talking to everyone under the sun. They were interviewing mamas and papas and babies' mamas, and everyone under the sun had an interview, man. Like, do you think they were just trying to gather as much info as they can, or do you think they didn't know what they were doing? Did they know what they were going with Ben Johnson to begin with? What do you think the thought behind like all the interviews was?
I think Kevin Warren, man. Mr. I wear the pants, Mr. I'm the boss, Mr. I say it one time and I'm not going to repeat myself. Warren. The big dog came in and said, no, this is not what we're going to do. We're not going to have 4 finalists. No, we're going to go out here and see who's the best candidate for the job. We're going to make the Chicago Bears stop acting like poor billionaires, man. You guys are a flagship franchise, man. Your grandfather or your father helped build the NFL. So it was nice to see that somebody came along that understood that. Somebody with some prestige, somebody that's been involved, somebody that knows football, somebody that knows marketing, somebody that knows promotion. So you have to give Kevin Warren a lot of credit for that. So the fact that they have multiple people that they were interviewing, that's what you want to do. You want to get the best candidates and the best prospects possible so guys on this team can develop their talent, that they can grow, that they can get their next extension. You want the best of the best. So if we had to go out there and interview 20 people, so be it, because that's not what we were doing before. Now, as a fan base, you know, we're probably a little bit impatient, but you can't argue with the results that we got, which is Ben Johnson or Mike McCarthy or Pete Carroll. So if those are the people lining up, I like the process.
Definitely the highest, most rated, sought after coach, at least in my opinion, in the NFL yesterday was Ben Johnson. I mean, Tom Brady was trying to sue them to come over to the Raiders. A bunch of other teams are going after him. I know he had a pretty hefty price tag underneath his name, which was my number one concern about the Bears, because the Bears and hefty price tags usually don't go too well together. So especially when it comes down to coaching, man, they don't like to pay any coaches. I mean, we got Canadian guys, we got high school guys, we got college guys. Usually the no-name coaches come up and take the heel. Whoever's going to listen to whatever the McCaskies have to say is normally who our coach is. But yeah, I was super happy with them. Alan or CeeJay, both of you, I mean, besides Ben Johnson, was there any other coach out there you guys are thinking, like, I wouldn't be too upset if we went down this route?
Go ahead, C.
Yeah, Fox, repeat that question one more time.
If we didn't get Ben Johnson, the other coaches who were available out there, was there any other coaches who you were like, I'd be happy if we chose this person?
Probably Mike McCarthy, because of the experience. You know, that would be the only coach I would say that I would have been happy with.
What about you, Alan? Anyone out there who really stood out to you besides Ben Johnson? Like anyone who you would have been like, okay, I'm happy with that?
Yeah, I would have been happy with the guy that went to the Patriots.
Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel, 100%, dude. Big time clubhouse guy, big player guy. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what I liked about. I like how he's got the the bond with the players, being a former player, and he had a no-nonsense approach. And anything that come out of that Patriot locker room, I'm down for that because they do whatever it takes to win. I mean, if they ain't, what's the old saying? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. It's just one of those type of teams, man. I've never had a sore spot for the Patriots, just the way they do business. So, it's a football organization. I wasn't a football guy in here. So, Ben Johnson, he's from North Carolina, and he played at the Tar Heels. So, I grew up watching the Tar Heels. So, I don't remember so much of him. He was a walk-on, but that age group, I think he played behind Ronald Curry and them back in the day. So, Ben Johnson, he's a football guy, so I can live with it.
Yeah, man, I'm not upset at all, man. That was my number one choice. The only person I was worried about that I didn't want is Brian Flores. And Brian Flores is pretty high up there on the list, apparently. Yeah. Had that relationship with Kevin Warren when he was in Minnesota, former teammate of Ryan Poles. But, dude, after hearing that whole story about him and Tua and their relationship and what he did when he was on the Dolphins, man, I was praying that those relationships weren't going to follow through and get him the job at the Bears because that was the one person I was worried about. But I'm with CeeJay. I mean, I would have swallowed Mike McCarthy because of the experience. Former Packer coach would have been the hard pill to swallow. But again, happy the way it worked out with Ben Johnson, man. I think the players are too. You saw during his preface conference when he came in and gave his first speech to the media and everything. You saw right in the front row was Roma Dunze, Caleb Williams. Came out later that DJ Moore actually cut his family vacation short and left his family vacation short to make sure he was there to support him for his press conference. So that means you got respect right out the door for this guy, which I like. Another coincidence, too, is he was hired on January 20th, exactly 43 years later, after Mike Ditka was hired on January 20th in 1983. So just the timing of everything was really weird, but I'm super happy with everything going forward with the coaching and the Bears. And like I said, get comfortable being uncomfortable is going to be an awesome model for us to go through. Going into free agency, though, the Bears, regardless of coaching, now that we got the staff, there's still a lot of players on the field who need some ramping up, need some replacing, need some drafting. Where are you at, G. Walker? Where do you think the number one piece is that we need to fix?
The number one piece is going to be offensive line, man. You have an offensive head coach, you know what I mean? They usually go their way, but I wouldn't be surprised if he listened to his staff and got a pass rusher. You know what I mean? Like, if he's that type of coach where he listens to his staff, that'd be kind of cool. Like, as much as he's an offensive guy, he listened to Dennis Allen. You know what I mean? Listen to Bill Johnson. He listened to those guys. But my heart of hearts, I'm gonna say, get an offensive lineman, man. Get a guard. Get whatever you need to get to protect Caleb Williams. Because 68 sacks is ridiculous, man. Yeah. And every year that offensive line is just starting to fall apart more and more. Whether it's Braxton Jones finally getting hurt, whether it's Tevin Jenkins continuously getting hurt, you know what I mean? Nate Davis not showing up. You have
still paying him $30 million.
Yeah, paid him $30 million. So you have to do whatever you can to solidify that a part of that offensive line. You can't play around with that this year going with the draft. People want to trade it up. I'm like, if you can trade it up, I mean, what are you going to get? 2 offensive linemen? To me, whatever works. But whatever you do with that pick, whether it's trading back, you need to make sure it's a left and a right guard.
See, and this brings up another controversy I've been talking about a little bit lately, and everyone chime in when you want to. Is the offensive line something you want to fix in the draft? Or do you want to fix that with well-known, established Pro Bowl free agency players? You know what I mean? Because we're a top 10 pick in the draft. What if we get an offensive lineman who's just a big fat bust in that first round? A guy from Ohio State, I know, is one of the top dogs we've been looking at. There's another guy from Purdue, I think. But, I mean, dude, look at what the Detroit Lions did 2 years ago, and I think everyone's forgetting about this because Ben Johnson was part of that crew. He paid $30 million for David Montgomery. The Lions needed a whole bunch of work done on defense, a whole bunch of other stuff they needed. And what did they do the first round? They went out and drafted Jamar Gibbs, and everyone thought they were stupid as hell for getting a running back after they just bought a running back from us. And look at where we are today now, Sonic and Knuckles, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if we went for an offensive weapon first round of the draft instead of going offensive line. I think it's going to be a controversy. What do you guys think?
I would say we're definitely I think free agency should be the path to fix the offensive line, because I'd rather have some veteran guys up front. Smith or I think his name's Ziegler that plays for Detroit, that played with Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
he's going to be available.
Kansas City. And then there's a big dude from the Falcons, too, who's on the list.
He's a center. The Falcon guy, he's a center. So I think to show up the inside, we'll at least get 2 out of 3 of them. At worst, we'll get 1 out of 3. Ryan Pace is a bargain shopper. So he's definitely not. The first day he'll make a splash, and he'll wait till like the weekend to kind of load up on some bargain shopping. That's just typically how he works. And then he's got an extension now, so he's not going to be rushing to do anything reckless. Yeah. So I think he's going to, like G-Walk was saying, they're going to put their heads together and get the best archetype, especially in the inside. So
Ben Johnson's coming from a team where you had 5 offensive starting linemen. Mm-hmm. And between those 5 people made over $40 million. We had 23 offensive linemen on our team last year, and they made $17 million combined. So, I mean, looking at numbers like that, man, I mean, and you're right with Pace, man. I mean, they get Trace Armstrong in there. They start playing let's make a deal and draft 2, get 1 free bullshit. I mean, hopefully they don't play that game this year, man. And Trace Armstrong's a whole nother conversation, but Ben Johnson's going to get in there and say like, oh no, man, we ain't trying to block Caleb Williams with this bullshit. We need to spend money this year. So
it's facts.
What about you, CeeJay? What do you think in first round, man? I mean, would you want a wide receiver, running back, defensive end? Do we go offensive line? Where's your head at?
I could see the Bears probably going with a running back, probably within the first or second round.
It's a running back draft this year, too.
Yeah. That's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing running back, and they could possibly go with the running back in the first or second round.
Mario Hampton.
Something, man.
Or Caleb with a K.
Mm-hmm.
Something, man. Whatever Caleb and Ben Johnson are happy with, I'm going to trust those 2, man, But trust me when I say that the whole Chicago Bears fandom is going to freak out calling for their heads the moment he does not draft an offensive lineman that first round, dude.
It's going to go nuclear.
It's going to be going down. It's going to be going down.
It's going to go nuclear. And it's understandably why, but you just got to trust. You got to trust him. Like, you know what I mean? You got to trust his judgment, man. You got to give him a chance, Bears Nation. If he goes off the grid and, you know what I'm saying, and goes with a running back, you got to believe in him because it worked in Detroit. It could possibly work here. But Bears Nation is going to give it to him if he go with a running back.
Yeah, yes. I'm telling you, man. I go to the draft party every year, and, like, it's so fun seeing the reactions of everyone. And, like, the year when they got Jamar Gibbs, everyone was just like looking at each other like, what the hell are they doing? And then when the Falcons got Penix Jr. this last year, everyone's like, what is going on? So, I mean, it's always fun seeing the reaction of even like the newscasters, the broadcasters, everyone, when these crazy picks happen, because it's definitely going to be against what everyone's thinking he should be doing here. But we'll wait and see, man. But I'm really excited about everyone who's available in free agency this year, man. I mean, you got Myles Garrett, who's not happy. We got Max Crosby, who's not happy. We got the Rams, who just announced they want to get rid of Cooper Kupp. Who knows if we're bringing Keenan Allen back or what's going on? He's 33 years old. So what are you guys thinking about what's open in the free agency pool? Because we got money, man. We got money to spend. So, I mean, we're in every one of these conversations with the money.
I think Myles Garrett is priority number 1. But as soon as that Super Bowl is over with, we're preparing to get a deal. That's if I'm Brian Poles and everybody in that front office, as soon as the Super Bowl is over with, we're putting together a deal. Like, I wouldn't waste a lot of time with Myles Garrett.
He's going to be high priority, man.
Yeah, we get Myles Garrett. Everything else will come. It don't matter what we do in the draft. Myles Garrett is one of those guys It's like Julius Peppers, Matt. He's on the line.
Michael Parsons, yeah,
he could he'll tear the framework out of our defensive line. Like him, Sweat, Dexter, Big Bullins. I mean, that front four will protect our linebackers. They wouldn't get touched at all. I mean, Travis Edmonds. Sometimes those linemen used to get their helmets on him, and he'll be playing safety because he just lighting the rear end. But you get somebody like Garrett, our linebackers will be able to roam free.
Yeah, because they're going to totally game plan against double teaming him the entire game. Now that opens up Sweat, opens up a whole nother defensive end. I mean, look at Khalil Mack, man. Do we bring our boy Khalil Mack back? He's coming off a Pro Bowl year this year. I know he's old, but I mean, a lot of people loved him in the Chicago uniform and was upset when we got rid of him. I mean, what if we get him for a good price to come back?
I mean, if you can get him to come back, it'd be some nice aura. It'd be nice nostalgia. You know what I mean? That'll get us hyped up. It'd be some good content, and people can make little clips and videos and come in here with the Chicago Bulls jersey on, and we can rewind the clock a little bit and all that. But at the end of the day, back to your original point, I'm getting Myles Garrett because I don't want his ass in my division at all, bro. He was linked to the Packers like last year. Then he was linked to the Detroit Lions. So I was like, yo.
See, and that's another thing you got to worry about in these people I just named, all these people I just named. Because Green Bay and the Vikings and Detroit are heading too after all these positions too. And if we ain't going to get them, like you just said, there's a good opportunity. We're going to be playing against them, man. And the last thing we need is higher competition in the NFC North, especially after we saw how that division was this year.
Yeah, so we got to do our due diligence, man, because if he goes to the Lions, but what is it, Hutchinson up there?
Yeah, we don't want him with him. No.
Hutchinson and
Hutchinson's a dog.
And Miles next year. Oh, my God.
That's too much. So I'm with Alan on that one. Let's get Myles Garrett because I'm hearing sounds that he's coming to the NFC North or the Commanders or something like that. We got to get rid of somebody. Look, I will give you a first and a second, and my original person was DJ Moore, but I'll give you Tyree Stevenson, the first, second, and Tyree Stevenson. That should get that deal done, man, for real. Because I'm not playing with that dude coming to my division, bro.
Right there, Mr. Tyree Stevenson.
Yeah.
Where did it even begin? I mean, did he just ruin his reputation with the Bears and all the Bears fans this entire season with how he acted the entire year? I mean, it obviously all started with the Hail Mary. But that dude's he did not improve the way he acted on the field the rest of the year, man. I mean, I'm personally completely done with him. I think he's an asshole. I don't like the way he plays the game. You're in people's faces talking shit like you're Mr. Get Some on a 10-game losing streak, like causing penalties. Like, that's the last thing that team needed this year, man. And obviously I look at him, I think a lot of Bears fans look at him as like, dude, you were the beginning of the downfall for this entire 2024 season.
Yeah, but I think, you know what? With Tyree Stevenson, we got his kryptonite on the coaching staff. Harris. He's gonna be the kryptonite. He's gonna be one of those guys that's not gonna tolerate his behavior.
Yeah.
Harris is a no-nonsense. Did you see what he did in Dallas? He had 2 Pro Bowls in that secondary that he brought up. So he's not going to do a lot of playing with Stevenson. And then Smith is a quality corner that I feel like I want Smith to be in the starting lineup if I was coaching them. But Stevenson's got something that no other DB we got, and that's for ferociousness, tackling the football. He's a good tackler. He's physical.
100%.
Yeah, he's very physical at the point of attack. The problem with Stevenson is that it's in between the ears. That's why I think Harris is going to tap in, and he's already got him going to that performance camp this summer, or spring. So we'll see what kind of Mr. Miyagi traits gonna go on with Stevenson this spring.
So you bring up a good point, man. He this year he was like a 2-year-old at Toys R Us.
Yeah,
watching him,
but you still love him.
The parents that were watching him he had no respect for those parents anyway. So he's like, fuck you, I'm out here doing what I'm doing, and didn't care about any consequence whatsoever, man. So I think you bring up a good point. He's sophomore year, young kid coming up. He's improving his skills, and he had no one in a leadership role on that entire team who he respected to care about how he was acting, obviously, by the way he was acting. So, dude, good point. I totally agree with you, man. Hopefully, get a good coaching staff in there. If they can whoop him to shave, keep his mouth shut, and start worrying about how he's playing on the field instead of how he's talking, I'm 100% good with keeping him, man. But just this year just completely rubbed me wrong with the guys. He's Velus Jones Jr. in my book right now. Hopefully he can get out. Hopefully he can get out of that bucket. But
I think I wouldn't get rid of Stevenson unless it was for Myles Garrett. Like, he's a starter on another team. But if we talk about getting Myles Garrett in Chicago, bro, you gotta go. You gotta go.
I mean, sorry, you need to go drive him to the airport. You go do it. You're going to drive him to the airport.
Meet his ass right at Soldier Field. I stay 10, 15 minutes from there. Meet his ass right there. I got you right here, brother. Don't even worry about it. Your ass got to go.
Didn't we pass up Jalen Carter because we were talking about the Bears atmosphere and how Bears players act and how they're supposed to represent themselves on the field and how their character? It's like, dude, we passed up Jalen Carter, and now we're putting up this shit from Tyreek Stevenson, who ain't even on the same skill level. It's like, man, we should have just got Jalen Carter and dealt with his bullshit, too. At least we would have got another defensive end out of it, man. It would have been amazing.
That's a good point. Yeah. All the hits, principles, and all that shit doesn't work unless you're winning. Exactly. Like, we give everybody a chance to, hey, hits, principles, we're going to do this. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
But where are the wins? Like, eventually, those guys want to win, man. Like, it's not working. So, it sounded good at first, but it wasn't working anymore, man. And I think that Tyreek Stevenson knew it, man. He knew my coach was soft. I'm not going to get punished for real. My GM is soft. These guys in his locker room is soft. And Roman Doomsday's a rookie. And DJ Moore's walking off the field and acting like he's injured. Like, so he looking around like, whatever. Like, I can do what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Carter's on the radio on 670 saying nobody cares anymore. I mean, so it's like that's the team we had last year, man. Not the team we went into the season with. CeeJay, when going into last year's season, man, what would you have guessed the Bears' record would have been before week 1?
I was on Chip saying like 11 wins. That's pretty much what I was thinking.
Easily.
And then to watch the season.
It's like, what just happened? What about you, Guy? What do you think, man? How many wins do you think, looking at that schedule with our team before week 1?
10 wins? I mean, it was 10 wins because I was thinking we were going to win winnable games. We lost 4 or 5 winnable games.
Yeah.
Even when we were playing bad. Even when we were playing bad, we still should have won those games.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add the games like Jacksonville and some of those other teams that we beat that were trash. Like,
we got stomped out by the Patriots, bro. We got stomped out by the Patriots.
Bro, that's insane, bro. Like, but I think I had us down for like 10 wins, man, or 10 wins or something like that. It wasn't that many, but and it's crazy how football is because the details, man, and why we lost those games are insane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about you, Alan? What was your thoughts going into this last season? Obviously, the shocker at the end, but what was your thoughts to begin the season last year as the excitement grew?
I thought we were going to be 9-7. I thought we would have flipped our record from 7-9 to 9-7. I was like, because I still know we had a rookie quarterback, and I just knew. I said Caleb's going to throw some picks, and he's just going to be unsight, but he really protected the football. I mean, I'm overly impressed with his abilities to save the football.
There was definitely a give and take, though. I mean, so no interceptions equals 70 sacks. I mean, would you like to see less sacks and more interceptions, or more, or you know what I mean? Like, where's the happy medium there?
Less interceptions.
He was definitely holding on to the ball too long, which I respected because he was trying to protect it and not turn it over. But at the same time, you were holding on to it way too much where you probably should have thrown it away or thrown it to a pocket where it wasn't intentional grounding. So I totally agree with you. His interception rate being so low is absolutely amazing. But I think that he countered that with how bad he was with allowing so many sacks and how much time he spent in the pocket, which Let's hope the magical Ben Johnson works on that with him this training camp.
I think he took the lesser of two evils. He realized, look, I'm going to get sacked, but I'm not going to have the sacks match my interceptions either at the same time.
That's right.
70 sacks, and he started every damn game this year, dude.
That's right.
Every single game, he got his ass whooped, man. There were some plays where like he got knocked down on his knees, looked like he was like praying, he was screaming to the heavens. I was like, is this guy going out or what is going on right now? And
he knows how to fall. He knows how to fall. Like he knows how to fall. Like that's a skill of a quarterback, knowing how to get down and take a sack, because he should have. I was shocked he survived this whole season, bro. Like the way that Justin Fields and him play the game as a quarterback,
he was sliding.
Huh?
He wasn't Tua diving. He was sliding, man.
He was sliding, man. And that's how you know that he knows how to play the game from up here, because Justin Fields was getting his ass thrown around like a rag doll, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way he was running the ball, and it was like a running back. The way Caleb was running the ball, it was like a quarterback trying to get out, trying to get the yards, just get out. So I think that's the difference. I think he benefited from that, with 68 sacks.
Most definitely. I think everyone got their Justin Field just to bring him up. Very sure they don't want to spend too much time on him.
No, not at all.
So much time's been spent on him already. But I think everyone kind of got their answer about keeping Justin Fields or getting rid of him this year. I mean, obviously you saw he was more of like a who the tight end is from the Saints, where he comes in for those special plays, and that's more of that guy, the special.
Tyson Hill.
Exactly. He's a special play guy. Call him in, throw off the defense. He's going to run. He's going to juke. He's going to do some play action stuff. I mean, I think that's a great role for him. But again, I think the Bears made the right move with Mr. Justin Fields this year. Mike Tomlin can't fix you. Ain't nobody going to fix you. That's my opinion.
Good point.
Mike Tomlin's the man. I love me some Mike Tomlin.
Yes, sir.
One of the best coaches out there. All right, so going into the playoffs, man, 3 NFC North teams going to the playoffs. But before we talk about that, can we just talk about how bad we feel for Joe Burrow not making the playoffs this year with the Bengals? This guy had an MVP candidate season, throwing like 400 yards, 5 touchdowns.
MVP for sure,
dude,
yes.
But it didn't matter what he did. He would throw 5 touchdowns, and the defense would give up 6, dude. And that guy just cannot win a game to save his soul, man. But going into the playoffs, I think the most upsetting thing before the playoffs even began is I could not believe that Joe Burrow did not make the playoffs, and the Bengals defense shit out the bed for him so much, man. But yeah, he had a fucking awesome season this year.
He did, man. He was balling out, bro. Every time I looked up, he was throwing touchdown. All I saw was T. Higgins in the damn Jamar Chase in the end zone all year. These dudes, and they didn't make the playoffs. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then of course when defense came back on the field, you just gave it right back up and coughed it up, man, the entire year. Unbelievable. But dude, like I was saying, 3 NFC North teams go into the playoffs, and they each only have 1 game. I think we can all say the most surprising one was the Lions. The Lions going out first round versus the Commanders. We can talk about that in the second. But what do you guys feel about the Packers and the Vikings game? We can start with the Packers game. Did you think the Packers were going to go anywhere past that first round? Were they lucky to be there? What's your guys' thought on Mr. Jordan Love and the threat of the future Packers in the NFC North?
Oh, God.
No.
He's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, guys. Come on.
Yeah, but that was all market. That was the market. And he just came into a perfect market. Yeah. It don't matter. Me and you play quarterback in the market. He had a good agent like he does. You'll get that money. And I'm not trying to take away and disparage NFL, but the market is the market. As long as he's healthy and he stays above ground, most of the time, like Dak Prescott is not worth $40 million, but the market says, a starting quarterback in the NFL should make 40. That's with Brock Purdy. The same thing. I hate to go off on a tangent, but that's the same thing with Brock Purdy. Yeah. But Green Bay, I knew that they were going to be a decent team, but the problem with them, what happened late was injuries. And then the quarterback play is still inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? So they got to keep working on that. But I knew they weren't going to do much. It's just what they are.
Yeah, the Packers, man, going to that game, I knew they were going to lose. They have an overrated quarterback. They have an overrated wide receiver team. They have everything in the Green Bay uniform is overrated.
Mm-hmm.
And he finally got a mid-ass quarterback, bro, with his back foot throwing ass, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the Eagles were going to whoop him, bro. Like, there's no reason to have faith in Jordan Love because of the history of having Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Like, bro, he's not that good. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. So I was happy as hell that they lost. Like, I knew they were going to lose. I don't give a damn. I'm glad they lost.
What about you, CJ? We should be scared of the Packers going forward, or what?
No.
Hell no. Jordan Love is a good game manager, but he doesn't have that it factor. He just don't have it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, man. I think the best player on the Packers is their coach. I absolutely love their coach. I think he's absolutely amazing. They do have a young squad. The oldest person, the average age on offense is 25
Oh my
years
God,
old.
that's the whole situation in the NFL. You have the youngest roster. That's all.
Chris Collinsworth taught me that, okay? Joe Buck and Chris Collinsworth taught me that.
That's all they say. They got the youngest roster in the league. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man.
They technically do. I mean, it is a fact. I mean, I don't think I fully buy that as an excuse, but I mean, it is true. A lot of growing to do there. But I'm with you guys, man. I mean, the Bears in the condition they came off a 10-game losing streak and beat the Packers at the end of the season. I'm sure to beat them the first time, given that crazy field goal block that should have never happened, but that's a whole nother story. So we should have beat the Packers twice this year, to be honest with you. So again, Packers are not my major concern. What about the Vikings? Mr. Sam Darnold. Looks like he put on his Jets jersey, went out there and decided to play Jets Sam Darnold
turned back
football.
to a pumpkin after midnight, man. That's what happened.
Is that what happened? What do you think, C? What do you think, G? What do you think happened with that game?
I just think when the rubber met the road, it was time to be Sam Darnold, and he wasn't. Like it's cool when you playing the Bears and you playing all these bad teams, and nobody can scheme against you the right way. Once you come against that team that's going to actually beat you, they're going to beat you.
They had 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah, they had 2 weeks too. So at the end of the day, it's just like Sam Darnold is who he is. Some of these quarterbacks are who they are. He hit his ceiling. McConnell's done a good job with him. Resurging his career and everything like that.
Another phenomenal coach, man.
Another good coach. Yeah.
Dude, now we have like 3 of the best coaches in the NFL in my period in the NFC North. Now that we got Ben Johnson,
4 with Ben.
Oh yeah, true, man. Fucking tough league, man. Alan, what say you, bud? Were you a Sam Darnold believer all this season, or what?
I like Sam Darnold. I felt like when he was at Carolina, he got kind of a raw deal. I just think Carolina just can't get it right. They just Bryce Young, they were about to give up on him, and I'm like, you're not getting it. Bryce Young did more with less than any quarterback.
Yep.
That guy has nobody, and he put on a show the last 8 weeks.
Yep, you have Alan Thielen, old ass Alan Thielen out there running.
Yeah, I mean,
and that was it, dude. He worked with it. And he made it happen. He put up some numbers, dude.
You just can't give up on these guys. And Kevin O'Connell is one of those coaches, and they are sprinkled across the league.
Mm-hmm.
Any quarterback that come in that locker room, they can squeeze every little bit of drop of talent out of them. That's what coaching is about. Like Mike Tomlin, like we referenced, he said some coaches are scared to coach. And I think we had that with Eberflus. Some coaches just don't want to coach. I ain't gonna say don't want, but they're afraid of.
They want to coach their way.
It's conflict.
They don't want to coach towards the strength of the player. Yeah. They want to coach the way they want the ball to be played.
You can't do
that player fits into that scheme or not.
Right.
But yeah, dude, I totally agree with you. I think the first thing Mike Tomlin said when Fields came over is there's a lot of meat left on that bone.
It's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot of meat left on that bone. So I totally agree with you, man. And Kevin O'Connell definitely is one of those coaches who will take a bucket of shit and turn it into gold and make something happen with it.
He's a coach.
What do you think about Sam Darnold, CeeJay? Sam Darnold, obviously, with J.J. McCarthy coming in, they're definitely going to start J.J. McCarthy next year. Do you think Sam Darnold's going to stay on as a backup? They're going to give him a little money? Or, given how good he was during the regular season, is Sam Darnold going to get a payday somewhere else because of how desperate the NFL is for quarterbacks right now?
Yeah, I think
a bad Sam Darnold during that playoff game is better than 15 other quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
They're going to get some money.
So, I mean, where do you guys think Sam Darnold's going to go? Is he going to stay? Money? Who do you think Sam Darnold is going to end up with?
Saints.
I can see him.
Saints is a good call. What about you, Alan?
No, CeeJay, what you were saying?
No, I was saying I could see Sam Darnold leaving and
Yeah.
going to another team.
Yeah.
That's what they want him, because I thought Sam Darnold did a good job of managing the game. When he was
100%,
playing
man.
well.
He was a regular season all-star. He was amazing all year. I mean, at the beginning of the year, we were talking about the great the Bears are going to be.
Yep.
Dude, every sportscaster who thinks they know everything all picked the Vikings. They finished dead last around the entire NFL, dude. Even the Bears were supposed to be above the Vikings this year. Everyone thought the Vikings were going to be trash, dude. And they come out with a 13-14 win season, dude. I mean, so again, nobody saw that coming. Again, I think it's all testament to Kevin O'Connell, but I totally agree with everyone else. I think Sam Darnold is going to go somewhere. He's going to get a payday. Hopefully
He deserves it too.
He can shake those ghosts of Carolina and Jets off his back, man. But dude, there's just some quarterbacks like that, man. You got your regular season heroes. You got your Phillip Rivers. You got your Kirk Cousins. You got even Peyton Manning, dude, was not a good playoff Super Bowl quarterback. He always choked up. Eli Manning was a better playoff quarterback than he was.
That's true.
So, I mean, dude, he's got some people that get to the show, they fall under pressure, and they just don't succeed. And I think that's where Sam Darnold's kind of leading into. He'll kick ass all during the regular season, but not sure if you want him behind the center during the postseason. So, but we'll see what happens, man. And then, obviously, the biggest question is Detroit, man. I mean, the thing that really is throwing me off about Detroit right now is you're talking 3 days after you lost a game. Your entire fucking coaching staff said deuces. 3 days afterwards, man. I mean, did you guys want to think about this for a little bit? You know what I mean? Like, why were you so quick to go? Is something happening there? Is Crazy Dan not a good person to work with? Like, I mean, you're right, Alan. Money, dude. I mean, Vrabel, Ben Johnson, all that coaching staff, and everything they did with that Lions team is absolutely amazing. But I think now I got to be question mark because even though they got great players, which don't get me wrong, they do. How good is really Dan Campbell now? You've taken away his entire supporting staff, and everything that I know, and I think the most of us know about Dan Campbell is. He's a motherfucking gambler, dude, and he will gamble that game on the cost in any situation known to man at any time. And to me, that's terrifying to have as a head coach, man. I mean, I think Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel were really the balls behind that team. So I'm really curious to see how much of a powerhouse Detroit's going to be this year, minus that supporting staff. What do you think, Guy?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see because all I'm hearing from Lions fans, whether they're on my posts on Twitter or I'm in a group chat with these guys, Dan Campbell's going to build within. He's going to build within. He's going to promote this person, promote that person. All right, so we're going to see how strong that Lions culture is with Dan Campbell. Like, dude, you lost your offensive coordinator. You lost a guy that resurrected Ben Johnson. Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Jared Goff was probably damn near out of the NFL at one point, bro. He came and resurrected him. So you lose him. You lose your defensive coordinator. And you're losing guys that pretty much are the essential parts of your day-to-day operational offense and defense. You think a guy that you're going to promote within your team that hasn't had the job before is going to come in and just plug and play? That's not something I foresee continuing for the Detroit Lions, man. I just don't see it. So I think they're going to dip. I don't think they're going to be as good. And I think people figured Jared Goff out. You just got to get to him, rattle him a little bit, and he'll throw you 17 interceptions in the game.
What do you think, CeeJay? Is the Lions still going to be the Kings of the North, the Lions to take down going into the 2025 season, given all these changes?
Man, it's going to be tough without that coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that coaching staff kind of builds the culture of the team already.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tough. I don't know how what they did this past season. It's going to be hard for them to do it.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Campbell wasn't the play caller on offense nor defense. I mean, that was Mike Vrabel and Ben Johnson. So all those great timing plays, you saw all those awesome plays on offense, the trick plays, everything. That was all Ben Johnson. That was not Dan Campbell whatsoever. Dan Campbell was the let's go for it on 4th and 13 guy. I mean, that was Dan Campbell. But, I mean,
right.
As far as all the talent we saw on the field and things happening with the play calling, that was all the coordinators. And I think if anything stands tall for how important coaching is, look at the Bears this last year, man. Tons and tons and tons of talent we have on this team that we had last year. And it goes to show you without the right coaching staff, without the right coordinators, without the right play callers, it doesn't matter how good these players are, because if you don't know how to use them, utilize them, and play with them, then you're still going to suck. So I think that's the big question mark for the Lions going this year. But again, being a Bears fan, I was not unhappy to see all three NFC North teams be one and done. And the Bears are 1-0 in 2025, just for the record. And everyone, just throw a little knowledge at you. AFC, man. AFC is a fucking powerhouse, dude. I think the NFC, any team can really step up and be the best team in the NFC right now. I mean, you got the Buccaneers, who are one of the best teams in the NFC. You got the Eagles. Detroit stepped up this year.
Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders. I mean, the Commanders were definitely a big surprise, man. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Jaden Daniels came out of nowhere as Mr. Cool and just chucking out there to Scary Terry and keeping the.
They're gonna take a step back next year.
Yeah, we'll see. Man, they still got good coaching, but I think in the AFC with the Ravens and the Bills, man, they just cannot get to the show, man. Ravens again. How many Ravens playoff games are going to end with a drop pass, dude? And this year it was Mark Andrews who dropped the pass. It's like, dude, Mark Andrews, you're one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Like, what is going on? And then the same thing with the Bills, dude. The Bills can have the best season ever, dude, but they cannot get past Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, dude. Joe Burrow is the only one to ever beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. I mean, this is what we're dealing with going forward this year into what's going to be the massive Super Bowl coming up of the Eagles and Kansas City. So, I mean, what do you guys feel about this Super Bowl? Let's get back to the Commanders. What do you guys think about the Commanders beating Detroit to begin with? Because I think that was a favorably heavy game for the Lions. Everyone thought the Lions were going to come out and smash it. And then you got rookie Jane Daniels coming out there, man. CeeJay, what do you think, sir?
I just think Jane Daniels played a great game that game. You know, he managed the football very well. He made the right throws when he needed to make them. And it was over for Detroit.
100%, huh? Guys, Jaden Daniels, rookie of the year this year, man.
Yeah, man. You got to give it to him, man. For a rookie to get that how far he got in the NFC Championship, man, it's his, man. Like, it is what it is.
And dude, they lost
play,
that.
Man.
They lost that championship game, but he didn't lose that championship game. Their defense and not being able to stop the almighty Saquon Barkley and that Eagles offensive line, man. Which brings me into the Eagles, man. That's the Saquon Barkley is the only thing I'm excited about in the entire Super Bowl, and they've been doing the whole radio hall this week for the Super Bowl with all the press conferences and everything. And he sat down just yesterday and was talking about how he was that close to being a Chicago Bear this last year, man. He was that close, and at the last minute, the Eagles swooped in, and then we took Swift, dude. But I'm so happy for him, man, because we would have just ruined that guy's whole fucking career. Going from the Giants to the Bears last year, dude. That dude would have been broken for life, man. But again, obviously going to the Eagles with the powerhouse, he almost broke the rushing record for the entire season. 200 yards a game, numerous touchdowns per game on average. He's having a hell of a year. But I guess my major question to everyone here is it going to be good enough to get past the 3 possible Kansas City Chiefs this year?
It's going to be enough.
Guy, what do you think, man? Who's winning the Super Bowl this year, sir?
You know what? I put something on my page when I saw Kendrick Lamar beat Taylor Swift for record of the year. I put on my page, the Eagles are going to beat the Chiefs now.
I think the Eagles are going to win.
Okay, why do you guys think the Eagles are going to win? Okay, so the Eagles are going to win. How are they going to persevere and beat Kansas City Chiefs?
They're going to keep the football away from Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Saquon Barkley, that offensive line, they're going to bully. They're going to really put on a effort that we haven't seen since the Washington Redskins back in the when they played Denver Broncos.
In the 89, is that the 89?
Oh, man.
Yes,
they ran the football with 45, 50 times. That's what you're going to see the Eagles do. The Eagles are just going to turn and hand it off. Jalen Hurts is going to run. They're going to really control the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a low-scoring game. But, yeah, they're going to control the line of scrimmage. If Patrick Mahomes don't get the football, you know, you're going to lose the game. So that's why I think the Eagles going to win.
What do you say, CeeJay? What's happening on Sunday, my guy?
Hey, I agree with Adam 100%.
Guy, you in the same boat? Is that what's happened on Sunday?
I mean, I want to see it. I really don't care if the Chiefs win. I'm not a Chief hater. You know what I mean? If they get the 3-peat, I think that'd be pretty cool just for something I've never seen ever been done. So for that point, I'm like, yeah, but I can't get over the fact that Kendrick Lamar beat Taylor Swift in record of the year. So the Chiefs are going to lose. That's all I got.
Hey, Beyonce couldn't believe she won Country Album of the Year either, man. It was surprising for everyone that on Sunday.
Put some bad juju on it already, man. It's Wednesday, man. Don't be surprised if that happens.
Whole bunch of weird shit's already happening leading up till Sunday, my guy.
Facts, bro. Facts.
I don't care either way. I've been telling everyone, like, ask me if I was just I'm like, I don't give a fuck either way. I hate both these fucking teams. I don't care either one of them. Right. I'm not committing it. I think Eagles fans are assholes. I think KC fans just became KC fans in 2015. I don't like either organization, to be honest with you. One thing I will say though is what gives one head up on my end is the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Since Patrick Mahomes has been a rookie, he's been in a Super Bowl or a championship game every single year of his career since we started. And Andy Reid might go down as maybe the best coach, if not top 3 best coaches of all time once everything's said and done, with his play calling, things of that nature. And those two combined is a shit brick house, dude. It was like Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. And then you got Gronk, who's now Travis Kelce. I mean, we got that new dynasty of the head coach, the quarterback, and the tight end. Which brings me to my next point is the controversy being talked about. And
hold on, Father. We got to give credit to Spags though. Right now, the defensive coordinator.
Oh, stop it!
You don't give him credit.
Dude, he just hands Mahomes his towel to make sure he ain't sweating too much on the sideline. Stop it. He ain't no coordinator. He ain't shit, man. Come on.
Oh, man.
That was like old dude who we brought Aaron Rodgers coordinator to be our coordinator. And it's like, oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers really had an offensive coordinator. I'm sure he listened to you a whole bunch. He ain't even playing the calls. He ain't even play calling, man. So stupid-ass Matt Nagy. He's double doinking ass. But yeah, man, I mean, I think the one thing that really is a controversy nowadays, and everyone can give their opinion on this, is the refs overview, the rigging, so to say, of games, the calling, the favoritism. I'll give my opinion to start with, and then we can go around the line, and everyone definitely give your opinion because it's a big topic nowadays. You cannot rig a football game. You can do things to give another team maybe an advantage by a call or not calling something, things of that nature. But at the end of the day, no matter what, that team on the field has to go and perform and do something to actually make something happen. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a ballet coordination where the corner is going to fall and the wide receiver is going to jump and they're going to break this tackle and they're going to get a touchdown. I mean, it's not a coordinated like rigging like how WWE events are. So, I mean, do I think there's a part of it to where certain things are not called, certain things are called, something is a little bit more swayed one way towards another team? Sure, I can see that happening, no doubt. But I don't think there's any rigging happening whatsoever. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs are getting not the respect they deserve for being where they're at, going in for their 3rd Super Bowl, going for a 3-peat. And even though everyone hated the Patriots during that dynasty time frame, they at least got the respect they deserve for being good. So I think this whole rigging stuff needs to end, in my opinion, man. Social media is blowing it up too much. They talk about it too much. They seem to let it go. Guy, what do you think, pal?
You know what, man? It's hard, man, because once you see a team constantly make it to a championship, I mean, because you can say the same thing about the 90s Bulls. They won 2-3-peats. You can say the same thing about the Shaq's Lakers. You can say the same thing about the Golden State Warriors. You can go on and on about dynasties. Everything is always questionable when you have a dynasty, whether it's a football team or a basketball team. And the fact that the Chiefs, I think this year they had the most one-score wins all season, man. You know what I mean?
I think it was 14 one-score wins.
Like, how do you say that's weird? That's incredible. And then the fact that they're here right now and their season didn't, deteriorate from that and then go the opposite direction, that lets you know how well coached that team is, how they've been here before, they've done it before, they know how to attack the details better than anybody, man. So they're just ahead of the curve with that championship pedigree to win games in the regular season and in the playoffs, man, until somebody beat them. But is it rigged? I don't think it's rigged, but it's tough to say, man. But I don't think so. Hell no. Yeah, be great.
What do you think, Alan? What's your thoughts, sir?
No, I don't think it's rigged. Like you said, football is hard to read because it's only a couple of people that's going to have effect on the game.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive lineman, it's hard for him to read the game because if he missed 2 blocks, a coach going to take him out.
Mm-hmm.
So, a quarterback's got the football all the time, the running back, the skill guys. It's hard for a punt returner to put 10,000 on losing, and he play on a team that hardly ever gets punted to. So it's like you gotta kind of look at certain various things or variations of the game. I don't think now basketball you can affect the game being a center by not rebounding. Like basketball is easier to read. Baseball is kind of on that loop, but basketball is easier than football to read. But I think we need to stop. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, and Andy Reid's a good coach, and we got to give them their due. I'm not going to call this Reid.
Whether you like him or not, you got to show some respect if you love the game of football, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, you don't have to like him, you don't got to root for him, you don't got to cheer for him, but if you like the game of football, you follow the game of football, you love the game of football, man, you got to respect what both that coach and quarterback have been doing. What about you, CeeJay? Are we in the WWE, the NFL right now, or what?
No, I can't. I can't say the game is rigged by the refs. I can't do that. The Chiefs are just that good, man. They're just a winning team. That's all it is. People are going to judge them just off of that. But they're just the winning team. So I definitely can't say the game is rigged. Patrick Mahomes is a good quarterback. There's no question. There's no question about it.
Dude, most definitely. I mean, if the Kansas City Chiefs have shown anything, especially these last 3 years, that they can be put in any situation versus any team, even where they're outmatched in certain points, and they find a way to get around it and still persevere and win. Now, I totally agree with all three of you, what you were talking about. The big offensive line, Jalen Hurts running, Saquon Barkley running. That Andy Reid mind is going crazy this week thinking about how he's going to stop both of those from happening. And then you got Brown to worry about on the outside. They got a good tight end. I mean, the Eagles are no joke whatsoever, but it just always seems that Andy Reid just finds the play calling, the shifts, the whatever you want to call it, the formations to stop the other team and stop what they're best at and put it on hold and make them have to go outside their box to succeed. And that's where Andy Reid's really stood out. And as far as Patrick Mahomes go, man, I mean, if you give that kid a centimeter, he's going to take it a mile. So,
and he's going to run, bro. That's the thing. He's going to run.
Yeah. And he even talked about this year because he got majorly criticized about his overall stats this last season. Like, oh, Patrick Mahomes, he's not Patrick Mahomes. Look at his numbers. This quarterback was better than him. This quarterback has more yards and more touchdowns. And Patrick Mahomes just straight out came out and said, I don't give a fuck about my stats. I'm out there about W's, my friend, and I don't care if I don't got to do anything the entire game as long as we get that W. That's all that really matters. So I think their big focus is on a team victory, doing what they need to do to get the W. No matter who has the ball, there's no, this is the star, that's the star. I mean, you look at even like the backup tight end who stepped up when they started taking over Kelsey this year. They're like, okay, you want to trouble Team Kelsey? We're going to throw it to this dude over here. And they turned that dude into another backup tight end like star this year. So the KC, they always figure it out, man. With that being said, when you're in a Super Bowl nowadays, no matter where it's held at, it's a Kansas City Chiefs home game. They have the most experience, the most knowledge. They've been there. They're not as worried as the other team. They have the experience. Andy Reid has the knowledge. He's the most winningest coach and the most beating coach of the Philadelphia Eagles in history too, man. He used to coach them, and he's beat them the most. So we got that stat going in. So I'm hoping it's going to be a good game. But, I mean, I think overall at the end of the day, I think we're going to be seeing a three-peat for the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. The only reason I would want the Eagles to win, which I care about, is Saquon Barkley, dude. I think he's an amazing dude. I loved his story this year. He had the chance to beat the NFL record of yards in a season, but he still decided to sit out the last game. And there were still certain scenarios where he's like, no, I'm going to take a break, let the kids go eat, and let the young stars go out there and play. When he was going through a title, he didn't really care about it. He cared about the W, and he cared about getting to the Super Bowl. So a lot of selflessness in that kid, and he's definitely the only Eagle I'm really rooting for on Sunday. So if they win, I'll be happy for him. But other than that, I think overall team experience, knowledge, we're going to see a Kansas City Chiefs victory on Sunday.
I think the football gods gonna look over Saquon Barkley. I believe the football gods, just for what you just said, his selflessness, and he took himself out the equation. He said, "No, for the betterment of the team, I'm not gonna play." So he's got credit from the football gods this week.
If they look out for Saquon Barkley, they owe Josh Allen a whole bunch of shit.
Well, he'll get
indebted to Josh Allen if they look out for Saquon Barkley on Sunday, my friend. No, but I'm with you, man. I think Saquon's awesome. I mean, the fact he went to the Giants rivals too, stayed in the division and came out and had the season he had, man. Definitely a Cinderella story, but I just hope it's a good game to watch. I'm looking forward to the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. I think it's going to be awesome. Looking to see who he comes out. Maybe he'll have Drake come out. Who knows? I'm sure Drake's on the Vegas odds, by the way, to come out. But I think Future and Travis Scott's a little bit higher, and maybe possibly T Swift, since she'll be there. But
or Wayne.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He might pull Wayne out. Yep.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. I'd be down with that. So I'm looking forward to the halftime show more than anything, eating some good food, hanging out with some friends. What are you guys doing for Super Bowl? Anything fun, exciting? You guys got a tradition? Getting together with family, friends, going to eat, drink somewhere?
We got a nice little spread, man. My wife was already writing the list down for Sunday, man. We got a nice little spread. You know, some nachos, you know what I mean? Maybe some, what they call them, pigs in the blanket, whatever that shit is. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Chips, you know what I mean? Some tequila, something like that, you know what I mean? Something to drink, something slight. But I'm looking forward to the commercials too, man. I hope they have some really good commercials and movie trailers, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Because I think one movie trailer is, you know that Will Smith's supposed to play Neo in The Matrix, and I think that it's a preview. I think he has a commercial for that, like a joke or something like that.
I like the Matthew McConaughey Mike Ditka commercial. It's supposed to be a preview for something more he's supposed to be doing during the halftime show. So hopefully we see some more Matthew McConaughey and Mike Ditka. Alan, what are you doing, my friend? Anything fun, exciting? Going out anywhere? Hanging at home?
Yeah, I'm supposed to go out of town, man. Kick with my homeboy, man.
Nice.
We're gonna do a big. He got some family coming in, so we're gonna all try to link up. I usually throw a party at the house, but this year I'm just kind of like, man, I want to be a visitor. So
yeah,
you know
how that goes, my friend.
Yeah, tear up somebody else's house. You know what I'm saying?
Waking up Monday, not having to clean, that's the best, my friend.
Man, the best feeling.
Yes, sir. CeeJay, what about you, sir? You doing anything fun for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna chill at my mom's house and just watch the game.
Have a good day. Mom cooking all day long, ain't nothing wrong with that.
No.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on tonight, man. Love catching up with you guys. Me and Guy hooked up a couple of years when we were both starting to pop off doing podcasts, and kept it tight over the years. I'm glad we keep on continuing this relationship, man. I'm so happy for you guys. CNG's doing so well on Twitter. You guys are popping off. I was talking to guys about your numbers earlier, so super happy for you guys. You guys have been doing a fantastic job. Keep it up, man, and love to keep on continuing to do stuff with you guys down the line. Super fun, man. Hopefully we have some positive Bears things to talk about the next football season when we all get together, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all coming on. Make sure to follow CNG Podcast. They're on Twitter. They're on Facebook. I'll put some links on the page for everyone who's watching tonight. Great group of guys. Always fun to watch. Always fun to hang out with. So, as always, appreciate everyone coming on the show. You guys are awesome. Be sure to follow all pages after the show. Again, all links are on the pages. And as always, guys, have a great night. Appreciate you. Happy Super Bowl and bear down, baby.
Thank you. Thank you. And go Bears!
Bear down!
From Harrison and Wabash we rise, tailgating with excitement under the skies. The Buzzers leading the way with Billy from the van, rapping jazz, dancing to the Chicago plan. Surrender man goes is feeling the beat. Our baby bear and mama bear never defeat. Deaf bear and also roaring loud, and the stereo lurking among the crowd. The Hallis Tower, a symbol of might. Chicago handshake under the night. What is your profession? We ask. Legends of the game, a formidable task. Devin has to speed, behold. Mongo and Dedham will never fold. Sweetness and Peter, heart of steel. Dick Butters and Mike Dicker, the real deal. Super fans cheering with passion in the air. From Harrison and...
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villian Report, and Red Zone Range. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla Hour, Broseph Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and M-Maniacs. The nightly shows are Palace Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle Podcast, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, Off the Rails, and Detroit Lions News. Hope you like all the shows. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment.